Oh no, because we're not live anyway.
We're not live yet.
Because I've not pressed go live. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Going live.
Now we're probably live.
Do you reckon?
Probably.
Okay, we're live, right. Good evening.
Good evening.
And welcome to Chinwag number 137, imaginatively titled £597 turnover in 7 days.
Is that all you put in the title?
I think there's another bit, but I can't remember that part.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, if I press edit, it will bring it up. And the new PayPal business debit card. We're going to talk about that.
Oh yeah.
So, welcome. It's another Friday.
It is.
It's a lovely Friday evening, weather-wise at least, isn't it?
It's been a lovely couple of days up here anyway.
Yeah, well, it's been really nice. It's been really nice. We'll go into the chat and say a few quick hellos because a few people have popped in and said hello. So we've got Billy B, we've got Southwest Sellers, Ash, I'm the Legend, Shazad Hussein, Andy, Claire Riley, David McGregor is in as well. Evening David, Sean Hutchinson, Money Mental, RJ says, yes, got you guys live first time in ages, hope you're good. Antoinette Daly and Sparrow's End as well. Good evening, I'm so ready for RC. Falling into spaces alone. And Shazad rightly says, the professionalism is the reason I keep coming back. What do you think? What do you think of that?
Thank you, Shazad.
Yeah, but we are very professional.
Yes.
I'm just going to professionally take a sip of my Coke.
Oh, that was so professional.
That's so professional.
That was.
Yeah, only pros sip on their fizzy drink like that.
Yes, absolutely.
So, we are going to talk about our week. For those of you that don't know, everyone here knows, every Friday, Beck and I decide to come onto the internet, and we're so up our own backsides. I can't think of another way of saying it. We must think so highly of ourselves on some deep level, right? We must really think we're right? To come onto the internet and assume, rightfully or wrongly, probably wrongly,
that you guys want to hear about our week.
Yeah, that you want to hear about our week. Yeah, that's really, when you think about it, that's really obnoxious.
I know, what are we doing?
I feel obnoxious right now. Like, I feel like an obnoxious person. Oh God, I'm not obnoxious though. I don't think I am.
Okay, we're just
But that's what we do. We
that's
decide.
what we do.
We think that, you know what, on a Friday evening, we're so awesome that people are going to want to know what we're up to, and even though we're not really up to much, so Friday night is comedy and graphs night. So Southwest says,
well, there we go. Definitely got some.
We have a role. We have a role. Nathan says, "Oh, I thought Bex was going to give you a skin fade. Damn wrong chat." Yes. It's not happening. It's like the doors to heaven behind you, says David. Mel Sparrows says, "Hi Peter, good. Being a bit quiet lately, but otherwise okay." Okay. And Karen says, "Hello. Well, your turnover is amazing compared to mine. I do want to see whether sales are good or not." Sorry, Easy and Bex, just had a ka-ching. No need to be sorry.
Don't be sorry. No, that's good.
It's a good thing.
That's
it's a good
good.
thing, exactly. So we're going to talk about our week, how it's been, what we've been up to. What should we start off with? What part of the week shall we start off with? You want to talk about eBay? Do you want to talk about other stuff? I don't know.
Oh, we could talk about. Should we go sales first?
Sales.
We normally do sales.
We'll do sales.
Anyway.
We'll do
we do
sales.
sales
Okay.
first.
We've got 40 odd people in here, so thank you for joining us. Peter Ray's popped in as well. Shelster Rooney says sales are a bit obnoxious right now. You're both awesome. Oh, Shelster, thank you, Shay. That's very sweet of you to say. It does kind of look like the doors of heaven, like David said, because it's all bright white.
It is.
But I think the doors to heaven probably wouldn't have a clothes horse.
Probably not.
And
with
a table
some
full of
hanging on it
crap on the other side.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd probably.
You'd hope it would have like some like
I don't know, something nicer.
Yeah.
Maybe like a nice ice sculpture or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
Or maybe some like really, really tall, massive plants and things.
I don't know, plants? I don't know, they'd probably have something nicer than just some plants. I don't know,
No. Have you ever been to heaven?
No.
Why?
Just with neither of you. I'm just, not gonna either, but I'm just saying. Um,
Right, anyway, let's carry on with some sales.
okay, let's go and talk about sales. Oh wow! Thank you, Shazad. Shazad has just super chatted $4.99 for the best motivational couple on YouTube. Wow!
Thank you, Shazad.
Appreciate it. Yes, we're so motivational. Do you want to show your the mug that you're drinking?
No,
now?
not really.
Go on.
Oh.
It's a Spice Girls mug.
It is.
Spice Girls mug.
It's not my choice. Can you even see
yeah,
it?
Yeah,
There you go.
they can see it.
There
They
we
can
go.
see
Spice
it.
Girls. Spice Girls. Yeah.
I thought you were a massive Spice Girls fan.
Probably when I was like 13 or 14, maybe.
Okay, it's like that, is it? Fair enough. Okay, let me just quickly sort out the screens and whatnot. Okay. Right.
But thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you.
In all seriousness.
I do appreciate it. Cannot go on too long. I want to see what all the hype is for this Stormzy guy waiting for Sunday night when a proper band are on. Where are you? Are you at Glastonbury or something?
Yeah, I was going to say, is that at
Yeah.
Glastonbury?
And Lex says, wow, Z looks biblical. Wow, that's pretty high praise,
That
Lex.
is.
Yeah, the hair is getting
That is.
out of control. Problem is, now that my passport photo's got the hair, I'm not sure I can cut it now. How could you? Only S Club 7. Shazad, I don't even like S Club. Just because I know a couple of their songs, man. I mean, you know.
you know more than a couple of those.
What do you mean I know? Oh, you're not helping, man. You're not helping. Right, anyway. Let's talk about sales, baby. Let's talk about...
Yes.
Do you get that?
Yes, I get it.
You think it's saying?
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about sales. All right. We're going to transition over. There's no nice way of showing this.
Wait, do you know what?
Yeah.
It's still an improvement on last week.
Yeah, we're beating.
It's a slight improvement, but it's an improvement.
It doesn't. I tell you what, guys. It's been a bit of a rough week. Actually, motivationally speaking, like Shazad said.
Well, yes.
It's been one of the toughest weeks, I think. Let's talk about that first quickly. We will get into the graphs. Don't worry, guys. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to mention this has been probably the toughest week in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since starting selling on eBay. I think for a number of reasons. We've also been grateful this week because it's been so tough. This is about the time of year last year that
I got my job.
Yeah.
It's actually a year exactly on Monday that I've been in full-time employment.
Can you try not to look so happy about it? I mean, you know, jeez, man.
It's a year. It's just, exactly on Monday.
Just you should be a bit, you know.
A whole year. I am very grateful for
very
my job.
grateful. And this week it's been really, it's been a bittersweet thing because sales have been pretty tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it can grate on you. Now, we understand that eBay sales can be up and down, but as we have been documenting on this Friday chat, if you look over the past couple of weeks, sales have been pretty rough for the past couple of weeks. So, you know, you can manage 1 week when you have bad sales, 2 weeks when you have bad sales. When you're getting onto like a month, and when you're going through a patch, you know,
you want to sell everything.
Yeah, you want to sell everything, and it can be
as in job lot it and start all over.
And thank you, RJ. Just seen a super chat from RJ because you're from South London.
Thank you. Really
appreciate that. I will save that £2 for the next time I'm in Croydon, and I will be buying 8 wings and chips that will come in and leave me with a penny of change from Morley's.
Ooh.
8 wings and chips.
There you go.
Unless prices have gone up. But yes.
They may have gone up.
They may have done, but I'll put in the rest.
That's the price.
Shazad's also sorted us out as well, so we're eating good when we go down.
Yeah.
Eating good. All right. So it's when you go through a patch, it really tests you.
It does.
Because I think we're used to the fact that sales go up and down.
Yeah. I mean, you'll hear us week after week.
Yeah.
Particularly at certain times of year, we expect this at this time of year because this is what it did last year. We know it takes a dip, but when we're getting not much further and we're putting a lot of work in, you start questioning,
and especially when it's for that longer period of time when you're getting into the month of bad sales, and it affects you. And I think there were points during this week where I really did consider whether the stock was good anymore, just get rid of it. Should I just get a job and get some consistent income? You do get to that point. But thankfully, I've been lucky enough that there's the community to talk to. There's a few people I can chat to about stuff like that, and makes me feel a bit more kind of better about it. And also, I think the other thing that came out of it was time away. Yeah. Time away. Taking time away is so important, just so you get to look at things from the outside. You know, you get to kind of take a step back and calmly look at things. I kind of failed taking time off today. I was meant to be taking time off today.
Yeah, here was actually, because I took 2 days off from my day job on Monday, Tuesday. It was pre-booked, and I had those 2 days off, so I had like a 4-day weekend. I didn't go into the office on Tuesday afternoon, did I? No. So it was like 2 full days away. And actually, I didn't go into the office today either. So I've been away from like. So
you've taken time away, and it's really helped you.
And it's really helped me, and I've encouraged Zahir to do the same, because it's really been building up on top of you. You haven't been taking holiday from the business at all. So whereas with my day job, I get regular holidays. I have to take holidays, which is, you know, it's a nice thing to be able to take time away from the day job. And I was just like, look, you need to kind of take some time off. If you don't take some time off, where did you end up today?
I ended up back at the office. I was only meant to go in to drop off a parcel.
Yeah, we had one parcel where we were waiting for clear payment, and I messaged the lady and said, look, as soon as we get a clear payment, because for whatever reason, the way she had paid for the item meant that the payment didn't clear straight away. Like, you normally get instant payment through PayPal. It didn't clear straight away, so we had to wait for the payment to clear before we could ship the item. It cleared today. So I asked you if you'd be able to go into the office just to pack it.
I went in and I just stayed there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I wasn't mega productive. I ended up doing a few things like adjusting promotion rates on listings, changing handling times on things. So I ended up doing a bit of that kind of work. So it was still work, but it wasn't doing like loads of fresh listings or anything. It was just getting on and doing that. And I realised I do need to actually just not be there. And I know we're not there at the weekends, but I think you do need sometimes a clear break from it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed having 4 days away from my job. Yeah. I don't know if I should go into my job now, actually. I might talk about it anyway. Yeah. So I've also been stressed out and let things get on top of me, so I'm not exactly the best person to be giving you advice about it. But
this is how we work, though, isn't it?
So there is a change that we've decided to make with my full-time job, which is we know we need to keep the job, but to keep me sane and being able to keep doing that job, I am reducing my hours at work. Yeah, it doesn't come into play anytime soon.
Might not make a lot of logical sense, considering what we're just saying.
And it doesn't make sense when you look at our sales, but it's what
overall it's better to have
I need right now rather than anything else. And I've been doing a full-time job, and it's great having that regular income coming in. And
we still want to keep the majority of that, so a small reduction in hours.
A small reduction in hours is what I've decided to do. Yeah. So I'm going to be involved a little bit more with eBay, and more on a daily basis, whereas at the moment I can only go in like one afternoon and one morning a week. It's going to be a lot more regular for me, so hopefully we'll see like a bit of it'll be more productive.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. So that's we weren't going to really talk about this tonight, but I thought, since we were talking about motivation and things changing.
Yeah, it's important. It's important, yeah. Pork Chop Express says, hi guys from Australia. First time I've caught you both live. Thank you for popping in, Mr. Pork Chop Express. Treasure Pirate has popped into the chat as well. Etic85 says, leave Z, guys. He's a proper hip-hop head like me. I do like a little bit of the old, I do dabble a bit of in the old school stuff there, and Southwest Sellers is being generous and has upped the offer on our inventory. Bear in mind, Southwest Sellers is weekly offering on my entire RC inventory. We're up to £59.32. I'm getting that should I accept it feeling?
I mean, we were close last week.
I'm going to hold out. And Karen says, sell it. You mean burn the bloody... And Mel says, you just want to sell it, or sums up the last 2 months for me. And Shazad asks, how is sourcing going for the second store?
I mean, you
I did
out a little bit
I
today,
did try to go out today, and when I went there again, I think I was just short. There's a place I like to go to. There's the bins in Preston, and there's like a Bernardo's, and they have the bins where I get like a lot of the clothes from. But the last few times I've been there, there's this couple that always are there.
Yeah.
They seem to just always be there whenever.
And they
clear it out. Like, they know what they're doing. I mean, they've got baskets and trolleys of clothes every time. So yeah, it was just like I saw that and I just thought.
So you need to get there before them. Right?
Somehow I need to get there before them. We've not been car booting, so second store stock has not really happened yet.
Yeah.
DMH has popped in as well. Right, don't worry. I find the next 2 months are slow for sales. Just keep listing. Yeah, I mean that is the mantra, Richard Hale. That is the mantra indeed. And Chrissy has popped in as well. And Ryan says, what a hunk of man, show us that shirt. Was it full price or a fine? It was full price from Aldi.
Yeah.
Okay. Full price from Aldi.
This is an Aldi t-shirt.
Yeah. The thing is, because of my ripped body, I've now distressed the graphics. They weren't originally distressed, I don't think.
Oh, no.
They weren't, yeah. The thing is, because of my rippling body, it's stretched the graphics, isn't it, huh?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go with that. So, moving on. Pleasant Valley has popped in as well.
Hello.
Dustbins in Preston times must be tough. They are. I mean, I'm not even cutting my hair. Come on, you got to up your offer. It's catch-22 when it comes to sourcing. If money's not coming in, hard to justify spending more. Yeah, and I think, Karen, definitely that's a good point. You do have to obviously have cash flow. But also, we're very acutely aware of our storage situation. Like, as you guys know, we've now got like an office space, and the office space is it's there for a reason. It's there to help grow our business, and we've got a very good idea that we want to grow our business using like the niche kind of. That's how we want to do things. We like multiple items, we like multi-quantity listings.
We don't mind doing the general store, but the RC stuff is definitely where we see us moving forward in the future. That's definitely where we want to head.
And also, when you look at the storage of that in person, you realise why it's the right thing to do. Even though I think we've got about 1,700 items on the RC store, less than 200 items now on the general store, yet the general store is taking up physically more space, physically more cubic feet of space than the RC store. And for a lot less overall value. I appreciate, there's other things to take into consideration, rate of sale, your
and
sell
also
through.
we do want to change it up by actually getting in some more cars and things like that, so that eventually with the parts it is going to get, like, the stock's going to get bigger because the cars aren't exactly small to store either, so eventually that's where we're kind of headed to more of the RC
and David
stuff.
McGregor says, get processing that research data here. Yeah, I've got to give a shout out to David McGregor in the chat. He's been fantastic to talk to. Actually, if you haven't, you should actually check out his channel, because he put out a video about like actual data, like some of the things that are available for you to be able to use. And I think he's meant to be putting out more videos on this kind of thing to help you, but I'm not going to force the issue there. But yes, there's a lot of information that you can learn about your business by looking at the data, especially when you're niched. And like Shazada said, maybe worth looking at vehicles for this time next year. That has been the big difference. If we compare our year-on-year figures, our sales are down currently 25% year on year, like up to 2019, and we're only 7% down in the number of transactions, yet 25% down in the number of sales. And if you actually compare the months in which we've had these sales, we lost out big time in April and May. Last year in April, I think we turned over like 6.5K. This year we turned over at just under 3K. So about 50% drop in just that 1 month. And in the similar situation in May. And last year in April and May is when we were selling some really good big ticket items. Lots of big box RC cars, like £300-400 each. And those have made all the difference to our numbers. We wouldn't be in this situation now if we had maintained that. So that's something we're definitely looking at bringing in. And going forward, we're going to work on that definitely. So that's something we have to think about. But yes, I agree. Distressed t-shirt, more like a distressed body, you mean? Says Pleasant Valley. Thank you, Pleasant Valley. Debit card with cashback. Does this mean Z will be buying more KFC? No, Pleasant Valley. It's just something we're going to talk about, actually. Thank you for reminding us. All right, let's get into the sales.
Yes.
Because we've
kind of talked quite a lot.
Yeah, and Ryan's in the chat as well. I'm not showing the one pack, Ryan. There we go. All right, let me just quickly show you guys the sales situation. So this week, again, you can see this week is massive drop, 71% down from this week last year.
And this is
the RC store. Yeah, only £314 turnover. We're 50% down in transactions, 70% down in sales, 43% down. It's a disaster, but we know what it is. A lot of it does come down to not having those big ticket days. I mean, last year we had like a £300 day there. We had a £180 day, £150 and £160 day. This year we've been doing nothing. 30, 60, nearly 50, 95 there, nearly hitting 100. But so it's been tough.
Yeah.
So that was the RC store. Luckily we've got the general store running, which on a lot less items has actually still done pretty well. £283 of turnover. So that takes us back to our total, which is £597 for 7 days. So a big drop, but we know what it is. We're just going to share it with you guys because it is. Yeah, it is. Treasure Pirate says, "Wow, that is a dramatic graph." Yes, that is down.
It is.
Shazad says, I use an American Express to pay my eBay fees, plus one of my wholesalers accepts American Express. I'm up to 229,000 points. Wowza. Does anyone know if you're able to see your stock units for last year, says Alzatic? I'm not sure how you do that. I'm not the person to ask. I don't know, unfortunately.
There must be a way to have a look
there
at
may
it.
well be. Unless you track it yourself. But big sales are definitely what we're missing out on, guys. We're really missing out on big ticket items, wouldn't you say? So
absolutely. That's what, looking at the figures, it definitely kind of shows that up, really. I think.
Yeah, I mean, this time last year, that's when we were doing those giant RCs. Like we had like a £600 RC. We had a bunch of £400 ones, and we were like selling them quite regularly. So yeah, it's we just want to share the other side of it. We will be back again. I'm sure. I'm positive, in fact, that later on this year we'll be sat here smiling, going, "Oh, look at us."
Yeah, I mean, we are looking at trying to prepare for next year, and that's something we really do need to look closely at, because we can't continue having like the dips the way we do, because. I do think if we can kind of control it as much as we can, even though it's difficult because you are playing on someone else's platform. So, we do, but I'm sure there are things that we can do and we can change stock-wise, which will mean that actually it won't dip as much as it has been.
Treasure Pirate Heather says, got to get those high value items, they make all the difference. Definitely. And Southwest Seller says, last June was so poor, up 620% on sales, 229% on transactions, and average selling price up 119%. Difference this year is no items under £10 unless they go large letter.
I think that's why in a way the general store, because you have been more picky with the general store,
got way better average. I
mean, the only thing I will say is with the RC stuff, because we are dealing in parts, we've got loads of under £10 items. We've even got parts
they're
that
all
are
large
under
letter.
£5. So it's a lot harder with the RC store to be able
but
to
they're
kind of have
all
that rule, but
they're all large letter as well. The thing is
Yeah.
though, we've got multiple quantities of those, so that's what we'll say. Shazad asked, what percentage of your customers are repeat? On this is the figure for the RC store. So we've got 13% returning customers, 87% new, 13% returning. So yeah, it's what we have to work on. And Nat Resell says payday, and I'm on £12.50, third summer reselling, and the first time I've had a slowdown. This is the first time we've this is the first time where we're now sat here middle of the year where we're not doing as well as we were doing last year. So it's we've
been kind of hovering around roughly the same mark, but this is probably like exactly. I feel that this has definitely been same situation here in that resells. So and also today we are on wow, what are we on for today? I think today's sales are probably going to be pretty amazing. It hasn't even updated them. And we just get to the orders. Paid and dispatched. Yeah, today we've had one sale, which we wouldn't have even had if it wasn't for WebInterpret. We had someone pay us €15 for a servo. So we've had one sale today. Let me just show you actually. This is, bear in mind, today is payday. We've sold nothing on eBay UK. Our items are listed across all eBay sites. And this is one of the, this is actually the only thing we have sold today is one servo, which was for €8 plus about €7 of shipping. So they paid us €15. It's going to cost us £2.80 to ship. And then the rest is just minus fees. The rest will be just profit. It owes us nothing. It's just like a little used servo. We've got stacks of these things. There we go. You should market to those customers, says Shazad. Probably should. Dan Mully asked, how's the car off to the boot sale tomorrow? No, we're going to be taking the kids out tomorrow. I don't think we're going car booting. I think it's that situation where you need cash flow, don't you? Don't you think, or not? What do you think? Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've got to have some cash flow.
Exactly. You guys also need to get out to car boots and source for general stores as Pleasant Valley. Yeah, we would like to. But the thing is, it's not a guarantee, guys. Just because you go out doesn't mean you're going to find something, especially when you're trying to be picky. That's the other side of it. Like, if you do go and look, it doesn't mean you're going to find the kind of items that you want to find. Up till now, with the general store, we've been very picky. Our average selling price is £35 on there. We want to kind of keep it as high as possible. So that means we leave behind a lot of things. But we don't need lower value.
We have to give priority for space at the office for the RC stuff. Yeah, that's the way we see it. Yeah, that's the one. That's the store that we kind of keep as a priority. So
yeah. Question: over the last 2-3 years, we've seen you have good and bad weeks. On tough weeks, how do you deal with those tougher times? Good days will return. Keep head up. Oh, you know what? Guys like you, Ryan, definitely help. There's
it's speaking to people within the community.
Yes. Speaking to people like yourself.
We talked.
I've just opened up OBS.
What are you doing?
I've just opened up the wrong OBS. Hold on, let me just see if I can. There you go. Okay.
Okay. Hopefully.
We're still here.
Hopefully we're still here.
Yeah, we are.
Right. Yeah. It is talking to people within the community. You keep us going, keep our heads up. And we also talk a lot between ourselves, and we try and work out plans to kind of, make us prepare more, make sure we try and change things so that we're not in the same position again. But,
correct.
It doesn't always work out that way because,
if it was that easy.
Yeah, everyone would be doing it if it was that easy. So, and it really, you know, we keep saying it, but it comes down to cash flow.
And sometimes taking a step back and looking at what you have achieved is also good, because it's really easy to, and we're guilty of this, and you guys have pulled us up on this a few times where we've been like, oh, these sales are bad or whatever. But it's
we have been pulled up.
We've been pulled up, and we are doing a lot better.
And deservedly so as well.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree, yeah. We're doing a lot better than, you know, we've come a long way, and considering our outgoings, you know, considering our situation, because everyone's situation is different, everyone's got different requirements for what they need, everyone's got different you know, aims, different goals. Considering that, I think we're doing pretty well. What do you reckon?
Yeah,
we are. You have to look back, and you do have to look back at that.
Yeah, I mean, we were actually trying to remind ourselves of this week, because we live in a really, really nice area, and we go on some lovely walks in the evening with Alf, don't we?
Yeah.
Yesterday we ended up going for a drink down at one of our local pubs, and it's such a nice warm evening. It was really chilled out, and it was just nice to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And we are lucky that we live in the area that we do live in. It's much nicer than where we were living in Croydon.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
But, you know, I can say that because, you know, we lived in Croydon for a long time. So.
And Karen says 2 weeks until next oil check. So here on Flat Road Cold Engine. Okay, Karen, thanks for the reminder. Shazad says offer returning customers a discount.
That's a good idea. I actually like that idea.
Yeah. This is the toughest year since started, says Karen. Definitely. Treasure Park is only 1% are returning customers, but that's because a lot of my stores closed. And Nat Resell says, shall we just blame Brexit? No, I'm not blaming anybody.
No.
We're blaming...
We're trying not to blame
If we're going to
Brexit.
blame anyone, we're going to blame ourselves. And Mel is got my RC bingo card out across his off-server. Yeah, yes. Mel's, I can just imagine Mel sat there with a bingo card with diff gear and stuff. Okay, Shazad says, this month has been my best so far selling online. 78,000 across all platforms, should do 80,000 for the first time in a month. That is insane. See, I mean, that's the thing. Online selling does work. You just have to, you know, you have to make it work you have to find something that works.
Yes.
So, you know, Shell Staruni says 3 sales here today. Where's payday? It's really warm and sunny, guys.
I know, people are not
really warm.
Not spending their money today.
Exactly.
Not on eBay anyway.
No, not on our eBay stores anyway. You said nothing sold on eBay UK, says Fritzstel. Does that assume that you sell on other eBay sites to ebay.com perhaps? Yes, Fritz,
yeah,
we use a company called WebInterpret. We pay them to translate our listings. And the only sale that we actually had today was from eBay Germany. So yes, that's how it works. Yeah. So yeah, if we hadn't got,
we don't go and list it on their web.
They do it all for you.
For us, so.
Yeah, they do it all for you.
We do pay them.
Yes.
To do it.
Yeah, and overall it returns. Currently things are not as good as they normally are, but I mean, we'll share with you what the situation is with WebInterpret. So this is the company. These guys, you pay them money, and they will translate your listings and list them across all the other eBay sites, and they take care of your stock levels. So if you've got an item that you've only got one of, and you're listing it across all the different eBay sites, and it happens to sell in eBay Germany, for example, WebInterpret will then reduce the stock down on all your other eBay sites to 0, so you don't have to worry. It's not manually doing it. Plus, they do translate your listings for certain countries. Obviously, some countries won't need that. So if you're selling on eBay Australia, Canada, you know, if you're selling on the US or .com, you're not going to need that. But obviously for Italy, France, Spain, Germany, it will help. So we're currently listing on those sites. So, I mean, it's brought in £358 of sales over the past 4 weeks, and that's a massive dip in line with our general drop in sales. When we were selling better, that number was closer to £1,000. We pay them like £40 a month, and they take 5% of each sale that they get through their site. So you have to work out whether it's worthwhile for you. The increased number of sales definitely is worthwhile. Times right now are not, it's not a great time at the moment generally, so it's not great on WebInterpret either, which is a shame, but it still helps, and you get sales that you otherwise might not have gotten. So that's how I see it. Southwest says slipper clutch for a line. Bexify says Z, your hair is looking extra luscious today. Oh, thank you. Jesse the reseller says my payday was last week. I'm currently looking for a big end lot. What? I don't know what kind of bingo you guys are playing, but okay. Dan Mully says I found that cash flow was an issue when I ramped stuff up where I couldn't reinvest the majority of the turnover. Good. That's a good point, Dan. Time to sell those RC cars on the shelf behind you, Z, if you need some cash. Yes, Pleasant Valley, if I have to, I will. But they're staying put for now. Jumble sale tomorrow and filling my car. Screw my average selling price. I need to fill my shop. Sometimes you do want just more stock, don't you? So, Jason Entwistle's popped in as well. Hi, Jason. Nosy, that is the missile defense button. Gosh. Yes, a graph with. Oh god, WebInterpret. Shake my head. Had to sack them. Lost too much stuff. Says Tea Cakes. Oh really?
Wow.
There's a lot of people that have had issues with WebInterpret.
I can't say that we've had any issues so far.
Yeah.
How long have we been on it for? It doesn't feel like it's been very long, but it's probably
about
longer.
3 months, 4 months, maybe. Yeah. I think about 3 or 4 months. I have done 3,500 in the last 4 weeks on WebInterpret. Highly recommend it, says Shazad. Adam Kelsey's in the chat as well. Hi, Adam. Thank you for popping in. And Sib BB says, I made it for giraffe time. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for popping in. I see the cast hasn't changed. No, it hasn't. It's still us, which is getting older. You can use the reprice to add their fees to the selling price. Yes, we do that, Shazad. Yeah. That's a good point Shazad has mentioned. In order to nullify the fees that you pay to WebInterpret, it very easily allows you to adjust your price. You can actually, let me just show you guys. There's actually a screen on WebInterpret here. So you can see that all of the sales that we make to France, we up by 5%. Germany's at 3%. France is 5%. I don't know why Germany's at 3%. I think I might have just done it. US is 3% as well. But you can up it to whatever percentage you like. We can put all of them on 5 if we want. So that way you... whatever their fees are then covered as well. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Right. Sean Gilbert says, I'm buying myself a van for stock. Business will slow down and I'll be back to square one like I was in April when I started full time. 3 steps backwards, 5 steps forwards at the end of it, hopefully. Yeah, sometimes you do have to. I think
that's a really nice point, actually, because I think...
That's what the office is feeling like right now.
Yeah, because we've had massive wobbles this week, and we even questioned whether doing the office was the right thing, and things like that. And it's just, I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling of you feel like, you're getting somewhere, but then all of a sudden it feels like you're like back to where you started. So yeah. I think that's I really like that point, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So we have talked in quite a lot of detail about our sales and our week on eBay. Mm-hmm. So I think it's time now we get you we talk to you guys about the second part of our title, which is the PayPal business debit card. Mm-hmm. Let me just get the website up for it. I should have really
You should have done this at the start, that would have been better,
Yeah, would have been better, wouldn't it, really?
Now I don't feel so professional.
Yeah, now we don't feel so professional. We're not professional though, are we? Really?
No.
Yeah, let's be honest. Oh god, that's a debit card. Oh, damn it. Okay. Some of you will know.
We can't show you.
No, we'll find it. We'll find it. Don't worry. Yeah, okay. Some of you will know that PayPal does offer, if you've got a business account, you can get what's called the PayPal Access card, right? Which is just a way of getting access to your money. But PayPal have now recently launched, and it's quite recent. They have launched a debit card as well. Now, actually, I'm just going to show you a website. It's not the official PayPal page, but it's worth bearing this in mind. PayPal have now launched its first debit card. Now, the whole, again, you're going to get instant access to your money, which is good. But what's quite cool about it is no, it's not the Access credit card. The Access card is already been out, but this is the debit card now. Which
it was made available on my PayPal account, which we decided to go for. And you get 1% cashback.
No, it's 0.5%.
0.5%.
Yeah, 0.5% cashback on every pound spent.
Yeah.
So if you've got an Access card, you want to look to getting the debit card, because especially if you're doing, it will act exactly like the Access card, Karen. Oh, by the way, hi to KLC Reselling, Louise. Thanks for popping in. Karen, it will act exactly like the Access card. It's still a MasterCard, but it is a debit card, like a PayPal debit card. It's a debit MasterCard. And the main feature is it will give you 0.5% cashback. The credit card gives you Section 11 protection. Shazad is right. The credit card does give you that, which the debit card won't. But this is quite cool in the sense of the 0.5% cashback. So if you're buying your postage, say if you're buying your postage on Parcel to Go, you can use your debit card to pay for it. If you're out in the charity shops buying stock, you can obviously do that, and you'll get 0.5% on every pound you spend. So it's money for spending money. So it's got to be worth it. Yeah, 0.5% is 50. Yeah, £100 is 50p. Yeah, it's not a lot of money. It's not going to make you rich, but it's a nice, it's a nice little extra. If you're going to be spending a lot of money over the year, it will give you a little bit of extra money. A little bit of reward for spending the money. Had an Access card moons ago, got cloned, to ask them to cancel. Okay, but it's just something to bear in mind, because we've gone for ours. We're hoping that it'll be quite a cool thing to use. And I've got an Access card already, so like when I saw this, I was like, okay, this has got cashback on it. Yeah. So so it's pretty cool. CBB says, so £5 if I spend £1,000 off to buy some Porsche Boxsters. Exactly, and then you can get yourself a Big Mac meal.
Yes.
What's the percentage parcel? I don't know what you're talking about. Percentage parcel. I don't know what you're talking about, Adam. But anyway, I think it's worth looking at. It's cashback. You're going to be spending that money anyway. You can pay your eBay fees with it. Exactly. You can pay any business expense you could put on it and get some cash back. Like, so if you're going to spend on the business, then, why not? So there we go. Not missing much PvP. About 1% take up. Bunch of nosy buggers, says Karen.
Oh, is that the
offers to watches, says Pleasant Valley. Yeah, exactly. What's the percentage Parcel to Go charge for using PayPal these days? I think they've stopped.
Yeah, I thought they had stopped.
Yeah, but but for that reason, because they used to charge a percentage when you used to pay through PayPal. I used to pay using my Access card. But I think they've recently stopped charging. It doesn't seem to mention the charge anymore. Yeah, they can't charge now. Exactly. Richard Payne has confirmed they don't charge. So's bad typing. It's been they've stopped charging now, so that's pretty cool, I think. Just something to bear in mind. Oh, the yawns are coming in. No. Don't be sorry. Well, guys, do you use top cashback, says David? I have £300 for the year so far in mind. Gonna save it for Christmas, says David. I don't, but I've heard a lot of people use that. I'm pretty sure Fake Rachel mentioned about using that.
I think Fake Rachel would mention that.
Something about buying with her Hermes through it. You get a certain percentage back. So that's definitely got to be worth using as well. So that's pretty cool. Right, I think we're pretty much talked out.
Yeah.
So unless you guys have got any questions, I don't know if you have any questions or not, but if you do have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, we're done. Sean says, I don't like debit. I don't like debt. but I'm thinking of getting a credit card for cashback. So say I make a £3,000 order, I'll get cashback, but I'll make sure I have the 3K to pay at the end of the month. Yeah, I mean, if you can control it, there is such a thing. People do say obviously there's good debt and bad debt. So as long as you know what you're doing, there's lots of people that very, very successfully do balance transfers and borrow free money for long periods of time whilst using their cards to accrue all kinds of points, all kinds of like air miles, all kinds of cashback. So if you're very, 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 very disciplined, then okay. But bear in mind, the reason why these companies offer interest-free balance transfers, the reason why they offer cashback, the reason why they offer all this stuff is because they have got very, very smart, probably calculus-based technical models which work out that out of every 1,000 customers that takes them up on an interest-free balance transfer, every customer, because all these customers that are doing balance transfers are doing them because they feel that they're going to get one over, that they're going to outsmart the bank, they're going to be super disciplined, they're going to be super great. And then out of that 1,000 customers, maybe 900 of them will, or maybe 999 of them will, but there will be that one or two or enough of a percentage that where life will happen and they won't be able to keep their interest-free balance transfers going. They won't be able to keep that going, and the bank or the card issuer will make their money. So the house always wins type scenario. So if you know you're good at it and you're really disciplined, great, go for it, but be really, really careful. I'm always dubious. I wouldn't, the reason why I wouldn't do it is because I know that I would fail. I'm being honest with you guys. I'm not disciplined enough. Some people would be great. I would not want to do that because I've proven to myself on numerous occasions in the past that I do not know how to correctly use credit cards. So it's just those are facts borne out by numbers. So I'm just going to bear that in mind. Yeah. So you've got to bear that in mind. Right. Quid Quo is the one I use. Got 3K cashback so far from using it, says Shazad. So Bex, do you know what days you'll be working when cut back?
Yes, I'm going to be working every single day apart from Saturdays and Sundays. So it's like Monday to Friday, and it's going to be a mixture of mornings and afternoons because it works out that I'm going to be doing about 5 hours or 5.5 hours each day. Yeah.
So it's every day, but just reduced hours.
Yeah.
Sue's Pile of Shame has popped in. Hi, Sue. Jesse, the reseller, says top cashback is brilliant. Over £500 back so far. And Sib BB says, this reminds me of the new BP Me fuel card. 1 point per litre of fuel, so spend 271 pence and get £1 off in fuel. Yes, but if you buy that fuel from Asda, if you buy the same amount of litres at Asda, you'll probably save more than the £1 off that you'll get from BP. But obviously you have to bear in mind that, do you trust the fuel in Asda being as of good quality as BP fuel? For me, obviously it's not really a concern, but if you have like a nice car,
I was going to say we'd fill up anywhere.
Yeah, we'd fill up any, so yeah, you have to bear that in mind though, definitely.
I was wondering where you were going with the whole Asda thing, and I was like, we fill up anywhere.
David McGregor says, Karen, she asked specifically to work Friday, so she can't do recent ladies. Oh, David. No, that's, like I say, it's just reduced hours.
Yeah.
Sib says, have you discussed, does it make a difference what shuttle, which I thought was owned by eBay, is no longer going to be called, is going to be the parcel people on eBay? No, I've not discussed it. I didn't even know about that, Sib.
I did read an email about it.
What, they're no longer going to be?
Yeah.
So who are they going to use?
I don't know who they're going to use, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they are, shuttle. Yeah, it's not shuttle.
Karen says, we have 2 credit cards. One is always cleared as used for petrol, and the other one... Yeah, let's just not talk about those. Richard Hale says, question, what would your main tip be for going full-time reselling? I have loads of stock and some money behind me for slow months and to help with bills. we would say don't do it like we did it.
Yeah,
because,
I think we've been like completely honest about the way we did it. We didn't prepare. We didn't.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. And we thought it would be like a case of me just coming on board and, you know, magically it would, you know, improve.
Looking back on it, I would say the smart way to have done it would be to get, I would say, 12 months of income behind you. Not even 6 months. If you're currently in work, if you can somehow get together 12 months of your wage in a bank, then go for it. I think it will make a big difference.
Yeah.
I think it would not only make a difference to your stress levels, I think it would make a difference to the quality of the decisions that you make.
Yeah, I was going to say that's going to be the most important thing, because, you know, even if you think you can work under pressure and in stressful environments, when you're relying on this income solely to pay for your bills, as well as taking money to reinvest to keep your business ticking over and getting that cash flow going, the decisions that you make are really, really important. And if you are not able to function and make those decisions clearly, then you're just going to be like running around in circles, basically.
We've definitely seen that the decisions you make are affected significantly by the amount of stress you're under. You won't make as many good decisions when it comes to I'm talking about things like sourcing even. I'm talking about you won't make good buys. You won't make as good, you know, you think, some people think like I used to like to think I work best when I'm under pressure. You know, that's when I really do my best work. BS, man, come on. Like you work under pressure, but the quality of your work will not be as good. Okay, so you might get yourself out of lots of binds. We've certainly over the years gotten ourselves out of lots of tight spots whilst we've been under pressure by just working through them, but it certainly hasn't been our best work. It certainly hasn't been our best deals or our best, you know, I do feel that you've got to be in that situation. So I'd say that would, for me, would be the number one thing, because once you've got that money behind you and you know your bills are covered, you can really give yourself a good head start, make some really good decisions, and just hit the ground running. That's why I would say that would be the most important tip when going full time, is to make sure you've got money.
Make sure you've got your finances sorted.
Like we always say, you know, like everyone knows it takes money to make money. Like even when you're outsourcing, we all know that you're gonna buy better quality stock if you're spending out more money on a more valuable item. Chances are you're gonna make more money back. If you spend £1 on an item, the chances are you're not gonna make 500 quid back. Very unlikely. You're more likely to make back 20 or 30 quid, which is still a great percentage, but it's still only gonna make you 20 odd quid after your fees and your postage or whatever, right? You're not gonna be like eating at Benny Hanna's or anything, right? Which isn't even that great a restaurant. But if you buy something for 500 quid, chances are you're going to be selling it for at least 800, you know, which then means suddenly you're going to be with a much bigger chunk of money left. So that kind of thing. Anyway, that would be it. Nadine Kolkman says, hi folks, hi there. A company called Packlink are going to do it. Not sure if they relate to you, the Asian joke. Thank you, Sim. No, they're not. But yes, I appreciate the comment. Right. Yeah, someone will miss the payment and then pay fees. That's why I'll live within my means and only order on card if I have cash. Yeah, if you're, like I said, if you're really, really good and what's the word, disciplined, you're going to be fine. Alrighty. Nice to hear Beck has less hours. She needs a break. She does. Defo true about Asda, Sainsbury's, etc. compared to BP, says Sib. Yeah, see, Asda fuel is trash. There you go. See, people with nice cars tend to not like supermarket fuel. The only reason we don't mind it is because, you know...
Well, you don't even put oil in the Honda.
Sean says, I seriously going to need a warehouse or storage space soon, but I'm worried if I jump too early it could slow business down. Plus I'm going limited company next month and heard Amazon suspend you temporarily. Wowza. Yeah, it's really important to know when to make those jumps. We, in typical fashion, moved into our office we didn't know we were going to hit a slump, but as we hit our slump,
we knew it was a slow time.
Yeah, but we didn't think it would get this slow.
We didn't think it would get
this slow. But yeah,
so we did make the jump.
Yeah,
but thinking about it, I don't regret it.
No, we would. Yeah,
I know we've had wobble this week, but I don't regret
it's still. We're still gonna. Overall, it's paying. Honestly, we know that we're putting the work in, and it's paying back.
There's no way the stock's coming back in my house.
No way.
It's like no way.
I don't want it back in the house either. Right. Karen says, seriously, quality of fuel when you forget oil. I use Astafil. Yeah. Yes, Karen. I was speaking on behalf of other people, Karen, not on myself. Keep getting 6p off litre at Sainsbury's, says Southwest Sellers. Check your oil. I will do. Shazad says it will ruin your engine. Different company, but the service providers will price price will remain. Are you talking about the postal thing? Okay, spot on. Go full time when you can absolutely no longer cope doing 2 jobs. Need a good buffer as a reseller. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think it really. Yeah, it's. The thing is though, that's the smart thing to do. What we've just talked about.
Yeah.
About having 12 months wages. That's the smart thing to do.
We didn't do the smart thing.
But can I just say, it's because I say a lot of things in this chat. It's not easy to do the smart thing.
No.
What do you think about that? Do you think it's easy to?
It's not easy to do the smart thing.
When you
because in all honesty, right now I probably shouldn't be looking at reducing my hours, but I'm not coping with what I'm doing either. Yeah. And I've got to kind of look after that side of it.
Yeah.
Because I can't continue to do both. Trying to do eBay and trying to hold down a full-time job, and I'm struggling with it.
And also, when you're looking at working for yourself, the chances are you've already reached a certain level of mental stress where, like, if you're seriously considering working for yourself and you've been in a job or you've been in lots of jobs over the years, the chances are you've already reached a certain level where your tolerance has been worn away. So then to turn around and say, okay, now I've got to build up a year's worth of income and continue to endure this job that I'm already at my wit's end with. That's hard. And to be able to do that it takes an awful lot of strength. And, if you've got that strength, that's amazing. Personally, I don't, and I'm, guess we're paying for that now. So, but I didn't have that strength.
And with my hours at work, I just want to point out there's always overtime. So if ever we feel like we need a bit of more cash, then I can always do overtime at work.
And Daisy May says, I agree with you, just in case you're unable to work due to illness, family problems, etc. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you've got a cushion of money, like we're in that unfortunate position where we do live pretty much like paycheck to paycheck. We're one of those people, and it's really annoying because you do want to have a cushion of money because it really reduces stress for those things. So for example, if we needed to rush down and visit family, it would be nice to know that we've got money there so we could afford to take a few days out. And do you know what I mean? So it's really important to have that, I think, and it's something we're working really hard to turn around, definitely. Jason Entwistle comes in with an opposing view and says the fuel from supermarkets is the same as anywhere else. I watched a program about it last week. It's cheaper due to them buying in bulk. And Karen says, in theory, if you're looking at leaving, should be able to do that working part-time on eBay in double the time that you save. So you could save 6 months money in 12 months just from eBay, Dosh. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
And Shazad says, I would never recommend leaving your job. That way you can reinvest and maximize your growth potential. And that's the thing. That's why I think Beck took the decision to reduce, because otherwise, if you hadn't reduced, you would have walked.
Yeah, it was at that point where I was really close from walking away from the job. I mean, the job I do, I know it's a receptionist in a doctor's surgery, but there is a lot of stress involved in my day job. it sounds a very simple job, but there is a lot of stress that comes with it, particularly if you do care about what you're doing. And I am one of those people that does care about that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I got to a point where I did want to walk out, and this is what we kind of...
This has made it bearable. So, yeah.
And do you know what? If I change my mind in a couple months' time and I feel ready to up my hours again, I can certainly speak to work, and I'm sure they'll be open to it. Yeah.
Well, there's always overtime going, isn't there?
And like I said, there's always overtime. So, so I am...
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Reselling...
I'm happy with the decision that we've ended up making.
Reselling income is a roller coaster, as it's been said many times. And the roller coaster is that much more stressful when you need that money for... When you're not just... It's not just extra money. When it's actually your gas money, when it's your electricity money, when it's your food money, when it's your petrol money, when it's your kids' uniform money, when that's what your reselling is paying for, then the roller coaster is that much more stressful. So bear that in mind. Look at your situation. Can you handle that kind of stress? And even if you can, prolonged exposure to that kind of stress is something you've got to be aware of, guys. But overall, it's worth the fight. Overall it's worth the fight because the potential is there, like the potential for growth. At the end of the day, for me anyway, what attracts me to working for myself in the end is I'm a dreamer, and I love the fact that I've got potential to grow. When I had my job at the BP petrol station, what could I have done? You know what I mean? Like, what they would have made me barista or something, or I might have made it to manager. The limit was there. You can see what they earn. It's not difficult. You'd be earning 23k a year working shifts, and that would have been it. That would be the top I could have reached. So whereas where work for yourself, you've got that potential, and that's what attracts so many people to this as well. And when it's rubbish, the self-doubt is real when it comes to sourcing, says Karen. Yeah. Definitely. Too much pressure in the world today, says Pleasant Valley. Put it into context, though. We always try to put it into context whenever we feel rough, don't we? And especially for you, because you work in the surgery where you see things of much more significance. Yeah. Like you see like actual, as grave as things get, right? So helps to put your stresses into perspective. It does. Money makes money, says Daisy. It does. Pressure calls the best brain to work differently, which prevent clear thinking, says Shazad. Yeah, I agree, Shazad. Agree. Request from Sib BBs, Zian Beck. Can you do a CBBC broom cupboard and say, "Hello, Adam, please go to bed now."
There we go.
Ken Chapman says, "Hi, I'm 25 minutes behind though." No worries, Ken. No worries, good to see you in the chat. I hope you're feeling better. Pleasant Valley says, "The rich can definitely get richer. Nice to have huge resources if you can get them." Yeah, exactly. Question, do you even know what the most expensive fuel does to the car? Says Ryan. Just shut up, Ryan. Okay? Just smarmy. No, he's not. Bless him. Funny you should mention that, Sib. I'm off to bed in the bit, says I feel sorry for Bex having more hours with Z, says Ryan. John says, "Do you still have your office?" Yes, John, we do, yeah. And Reselling Polly says, "Love my office, could never go back to being at home." Yes. Yeah. Even though we've taken out the office, what happens to be like the probably worst slump we've had in recent times, I don't think it's questioned the office, really, isn't it? No. Office is worth it. It's in the long run. Yeah.
It's definitely still safe.
It's already opened certain doors for us which weren't open to us before by being a business property, and there's other benefits that are going to come from there as well. So yeah. Right. Z oil goes in the front, petrol in the back, says Adam. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate the technical info there. I'll bear that in. Could you maybe draw me a diagram? Appreciate it. Sib says, "Lol, yeah, I didn't do the smart thing either, and boy, I paid for it." Yeah, you know what? It's so easy to be. You know what? I don't know if you've ever done this. If any of you have ever been in debt, right? At some point in debt, you will have gone on to what are called the money saving expert forums, MSC forums. You know that guy, what's his name? Martin. I was gonna say. You know what I was gonna say? I was gonna say Martin Lawrence, and it's not Martin Lawrence. Yeah, it's not Martin Lawrence. No, it's
Martin
definitely not
Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence. No, you know the guy.
Wrong person.
Who's that guy that's always on This Morning, and he sold a few years ago. He sold the money saving expert forum for like 80 million quid or something, and he's a money guru. His name's Martin something anyway. And if you're in debt, at some point you may have found yourself.
It begins with an L though, doesn't it?
It's not Martin Lawrence, is it? It's not, because that's the comedian. That's the bad boy, and he's like, you know, it's Def Comedy Jam, and
I don't know.
this is Mike Lowry's partner, Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway,
I haven't got a clue.
you'll have gone to the money saving expert forums, and once you go to the money saving expert forums, it's not Martin Bashir. Martin Lewis, that's it. Shazata's Martin Bashir. Such a troll. Yeah, Martin Lewis, that's it, Martin Lewis. And if you ever go into those forums, especially the debt-free wannabe forum, which I have found myself in, you know, you go and look, and man, the amount of armchair advice is, you know what, you get people that are just so, they mean well, bless them, they do mean well, but it's so easy to know what the right thing is, but it's not Martin A. Navratilova.
Do you know what? I've got to do this.
What's
Richard Payne, right?
Barista.
In the Wild Bean Cafe at BP Garage. Does such a position exist?
We bloody should do the tripe they're serving for the money they're charging. They're all in one machine. Honestly, all they do, do you know what? They just add syrup. That's all they do. They just add syrup. That is the BP way of making good quality coffee. Just put syrup in it. Just put so much sugar in it that it just tastes of syrup.
Okay. Anyway, we're gonna have to stop.
Okay.
Okay, because we've gone over time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, anyway, I was just saying it's easy. There's a lot of good advice on the Money Saving Expert forum, but it's so easy to give out good advice. It's easy to know what the right thing is. My point is, when you're under pressure and you're under stress,
it's not always
doing
easy
the right thing
to follow it.
is not easy. And if you can't 100% do the right thing, the last thing you need is people beating up on you or you feeling bad because someone's like, oh, well, of course you should do X, Y, and Z. Why didn't you do this? Why? You know what? You kind of feel like saying, yeah, okay, I know that. You know, maybe I'm just not as disciplined as you. If everyone was, you know, there's that great line in the was it The Incredibles, huh? Then when he goes, and then everyone will be super, then no one will be. Yeah. You know what? Pixar really do smack out the deep lines there. Yeah, that was when it was his name Syndrome, isn't it? He says, then I'll sell this tech to everyone, then everyone will be super, then no one will be. And it's like, that's deep, guys. Deep. All right. Anyway, I am going to call it a night now because you said.
Sorry.
No, we've gone well over. Well gone over.
Yeah, I was just, you know, we have gone well over.
Yes. Yes, I've not been on Debt Free Wannabe for years, but pissed myself off with so many militant financial experts. Yeah, mean well, but yeah, exactly. What's gone on with Len Smith? Heart attack this month, home now after triple bypass.
Oh, goodness. Attack
came on at the car boot. Brightside found Yashika for £1 that day. For those of you who don't know, I'm not laughing at Len for his triple bypass. It's the fact that he found the humour to say on the bright side he found a Yashika for £1, which is a really good bolo camera.
Yes.
Len,
well done on the camera, but I'm hoping you're feeling better, Len.
Thank you for sharing that as well, because again, perspective, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enjoy your evenings, enjoy the weather, go out tomorrow, go to the car boots, go to the beach. Yeah, good night, and hopefully plenty of ka-chings to everyone. Thank you for joining, really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Bye. We're still here.
We're still here.